Right, so I'm back and I'm here with another film talking about the Mavic 3. I was sitting around last night after I flew it for the first time and I was thinking to myself, there is a lot of stuff missing. I paid a lot of money for this drone and it's not ready. I mean, that's fine. It's the same with a lot of things now. Even if you buy a Tesla, I think there are a lot of things that weren't ready. It's only becoming fully autonomous right now, right? The same thing with this. You know, you buy a drone, it flies, it does what it's meant to, but there are a few things missing. Actually, I was so pissed off, I turned on my Mavic 2 Pro, which is this beautiful machine right here. And it's served me really, really well. It has, and it's a fantastic drone. When you get it in the air, you can feel it has raw power, which is very similar to the Mavic 3. The thing that really frustrated me about the Mavic 2 Pro was the controller, which is this. I don't know what you guys think of this, but this is the Mavic 2 controller, and it's fairly awkward, but it's got a whole load of buttons. It has buttons up here, it's got wheels here, and it has a screen that when you turn on is, where is it? There it is. Basically gives you a ton of information as to what's going on with your drone, connection, and your flight time, your speed, everything without even looking at the screen. So if your phone dies, you've got this. This is, it surprised me that DJI included this with the Mavic 3, considering you do get it with the Mini 2 and the Air 2S. It works with the Mini 2 with OcuSync 2. It works with the Air 2S with OcuSync 3. And it works with the Mavic 3 with OcuSync 3 Plus. And it switches between them depending on what drone you're flying. Now, it's a lot more comfortable than the Mavic 2 Pro controller. I'll give it that. And you don't have to take your phone out the case. And you have the screen above. So you're watching the screen above. You're not looking down. So it's a lot more comfortable, ergonomically better designed. But I wish, this is by the way my wish list for the Mavic 3, which probably should have come before it came out so DJI would get some feedback as to what we want. But I feel they've taken a few steps back at the moment. So it's a shame this didn't come with extra buttons that made me feel that I'm buying a premium product. Because the difference between the Mini 2, the Air 2S, and the Mavic 3 is that, sorry, I've got to squeak because as you can hear, my voice is completely screwed, is that the Mini 2, I don't need to have a load of control. I just want that thing to fly forward, fly through the snow, and I don't give a crap. This is the Mavic 3. I want full control over everything, and I wish I had more buttons and wheels that I would have full control over. So I'm disappointed that we got this controller once again. Now, I turned on my 2 Pro, like I said, just to double check, just have a look at what DJI sold in this drone, which, first of all, feels a lot sturdier than the Mavic 3, but they had to shave off, what, 20 grams so that it could be flyable, I guess, for when all the new regulations come out. So I turned it on, and apart from the things that are coming in the January 2020 update, like Active Track 5, Master Shots, Quick Shots, Hyperlapse, I have written next to Hyperlapse waypoints, Panorama Mode, and Wi-Fi Quick Transfer. I don't know if anybody uses that. I don't ever use it, but yeah, the Panorama Mode I think gives you a 100 megapixel photo just by taking a whole load of photos, stitching them together. Hyperlapse is interesting because for your hyperlapse to look any good, you, on the Mavic 2, have to make waypoints. So you make one, you make the other, and the drone flies from one to the other. So this is interesting because what this is missing for me is the option to have waypoints, which will open up a whole load of different things, professional things. So will hyperlapse mode give us waypoints? I don't know what you guys think. I'm really hoping so, because doing a hyperlapse and letting this drone do its thing for 20 minutes without any of our control would require hyperlapse points, like waypoints, at least 2 or 3 of them. Quick shots is cool, you know, the Mavic 2 had them. And master shots is a new thing that where you press it and it basically does a whole load of cinematic shots for you that you can later edit and look like a professional drone pilot to an extent. Master shots with this probably will work a lot better because we tried it on the Air 2S and it crashed into the side of a tree because the Air 2S had dual sensors on the front. And Active Track 5 looks really cool because it has the omnidirectional sensors. It should be able to go around things much like the Mavic 2 Pro can, but with a little bit more finesse apparently. So I mean, that's what you can see in the DJI video where it's flying between the trees. Whether that will be as smooth as it looks in the actual video, I don't know. Missing, this is what I wrote, because looking through the DJI 2 Pro, missing. So like the discharge battery, you can get these guys and you can basically discharge them. So if you charge them up, you can choose between 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 days, depending on how long you want them to be charged and how quickly you want them to discharge. And that was a cool option because sometimes you just wanted them to discharge straight away, or sometimes you were on a trip and you wanted them to be good for 5 days. Styles. So image control. The Mavic 2 Pro had styles. We could choose sharpness, softness, contrast of the actual final image, which was fantastic. This is a very, very, very sharp image on the Hasselblad lens. Now, if we had styles, the control that we have on this, like I said, professionals need control. It's not like the Mini 2 where we can fly it and blah-de-blah and it's fine. I want to be able to control this to its full extent. So I really want the top lens to have manual control. I want the top lens to have RAW, which gets me to my next point. Save RAW or JPEG, you had the option. Here, much like the Mini 2, when you take a photo, it will save you the RAW and the JPEG. I waste way too much time saving all the RAWs and deleting all the JPEGs. RAW or JPEG. Now, I want to just save RAW. I don't care about the JPEG. I don't give a rat's ass. I want this to save only RAW. Please give us an option to save only RAW, not JPEG and RAW and JPEG. Point of interest, like the waypoints. With this, you could set a point of interest. So you could set an A point, a B point, and the point of interest could, for example, be a tower. So it would fly from A to B, constantly looking at the tower. It could be lower, it could be higher. That was a fantastic option for, you know, autonomous recording. We don't have that in here, and it's an option I'm really missing off this drone because that would give you the ability to have robotically perfect cinematic shots. And I'm guessing with the hyperlapse, having the need of waypoints, they could give us point of interest. And the next thing obviously is waypoints. I don't know why the January update doesn't have waypoints. I'm praying that they're hiding it in the hyperlapse option and that will allow us to have waypoints. Waypoints was just fantastic. It allowed us to go from A to B and not do anything, just set up a perfect shot and do it over and over and over again because the GPS knew where it was. So you could save those waypoints, go back in the evening, do the same shot, and you could match them together. So you'd have like a daytime going into a nighttime shot. That was fantastic. DJI, please bring back waypoints, point of interest. Those two things, I think a lot of us really want that. And tap to fly. You could tap an area on the map and it would fly straight to it. Completely automatic. Absolutely fantastic. This has the omnidirectional sensors. It has the ability to do that. So I'm really praying to the DJI gods that they do that. One last thing I haven't even written on here is the DJI Fly app. It's an app that goes with a controller. It goes with the Mini 2, fine. But it feels a little bit too basic for this drone. DJI, go for was a fantastic app and it works incredibly with this drone, and I love using it to this day. It feels professional, it feels like I have full control. Just either put those features onto the Fly app, or I don't know, make this compatible with the Fly app, the Go 4 app, DJI. Those are things that I think not only I, but a lot of people who have bought this drone want. And I think it's in your best interest because it's going to help us create awesome footage with this drone. Otherwise, I will feel disappointed, I think, like a lot of us. Anyway, it's a fantastic drone, don't get me wrong. It just needs a few updates to bring it back to this level of drone that when you bought it as a complete drone. And you're like, I'm satisfied. I am 100% satisfied. I bought this. This you're buying and you're like, what did I spend my money on? I'm not selling the Mavic 2 Pro, and I'm very happy I didn't, because it's an incredible drone and it will be a great backup drone, and hopefully everything that's on here will go onto this. Any comments, questions, any thoughts, any of your wish list, because I'm sure DJI is listening and they're no doubt going to watch this film. Drop them in the comments below. Like my film if you did like it, and let me know what you think. Have a great day. I'm turning it off now because I need to get back to that phone call. That's fake, by the way.